We have thousands, actually tens of thousands of people who are already active on these issues, right? And we have hundreds of thousands of people, according to Tony Leishowitz's work over in the Six Americas study, that are emotionally impacted by climate change, right? They actually think about it all the time, right? And when you think about what this takes, we have 19,500 organized cities and towns and communities in this country. That's it, 19,500. 14,500 of them have a population that's less than 5,000, right? And so what this requires is sustained effort at the local level, always, right? When the transit authority makes the decision to replace old diesel buses with something else, they need to choose electric buses. And we have programs to pay for it. But if the transit agency doesn't apply for the program, it doesn't happen. And I can't force them to do it from the federal government. All I can do is say, here are all of the resources. But someone in the local community can force them to make a decision that's in their own best financial interest. The same thing's true with the way in which school buses are done. You know, only 50% of streetlights in this country are LED. We could replace all the rest of the streetlights with LED lights. It's like an 8-month payback, right? The amount of school rooftops that don't have solar on them when it's fully financeable and you save money from day one, right? I mean, you know, Brookfield bought Constellation's commercial and industrial solar division, and they do rooftops all day, right? I mean, electric vehicles for Lyft and Uber drivers today, with gasoline prices still at $4 a gallon, it is way cheaper to go electric for those drivers. But instead, most of the tax credits are used by wealthy people who like live close to their work, right? Not the ones who are driving 20,000 miles a year for their job, but instead people are driving 6,000 miles a year because they live right next to where they work, right? And so, like, how do we figure out how to get this done? But also, like, police officers, right? Police officers in general idle their vehicles and have 1 kilowatt worth of electric load on their car running all the time. So if you've ever seen a police car, it's always idling because
right
they
around the
need,
block for me.
and it's at 90 cents a kilowatt hour to run those electric appliances off the alternator. 90 cents a kilowatt hour. It's a 2.5-year payback to switch those police cars to electric vehicles, right? And I think that for whatever reason, everyone's, oh, it's the red or blue issue. It's not. Most of the police forces that have moved over to electric are in red districts. And so, like, what it takes is someone who actually is willing to spend a few extra hours every week to say, you know what, I want to make my community better. And the federal government's passed $1.2 trillion to support that. But we can't force it top down. That's not how our country works, right? It's got to be forced at the local level with resources that we provide to that, you know, change maker and that muckraker.